Hello, everyone, and welcome into more Seven Wonders Duel here on the Sorcerer Network. If you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button before we begin, and like and comment on the video. Fastly approaching 100 subscribers here, and this channel is barely 6 months old. So thank you to you all for your support on the channel, putting your eyeballs on the content. I'm having a fun time. Are we starting this game? No? Yes? No? Well, anyway, I'm having a fun time waiting for people to start the game. I'm just going to hit cancel, and then I'm going to hit search again. Having a fun time. Having a great time. Loving this. So, did I mention I'm having a great time? And loving creating content. So, let's do this thing. Hey! Finally get lucky. Temple of Artemis. Love it. Love the Temple of Artemis. It's the best. All right. No... law, however, economy is awesome. Theology is also very good, as well as masonry, and strategy can be pretty gross in terms of, I would pick this one, but Appian Way is a good alternative. Yes, so this might be a fun one to maybe try. What do we do here? Interesting. So, I don't love taking the coins right away, but because there's other resources here, I think I'm gonna. I know I'm contradicting myself, because I'm pretty sure in another video I said, this is a horrible play. But I think with the cards that are here, I'm liking the play a little bit more. I have one less resource. Okay, and then we take this one. And then I'm assuming my opponent takes this one. All right, great. Okay. Wow, that worked out great. So basically, we each got 2 resources, and I was also able to get a yellow card to start out with. The other thing that this puts me in is a situation where, okay, so he's going a military route. All right. I'm going to grab the resource that I don't have. And then I'm assuming he's going to grab this resource. And then I'm going to grab this science card. It's going to cost me 2 coins, but that's okay. Economy is great. Strategy would be great to maybe try to... It can be really gross in the Third Age, because with the additional shield, those 3 become 4. And that just is really gross. All right, so my opponent does that. That's an interesting set of cards. It's a very interesting set of cards. Okay, if I was my opponent right now, I would take this card, because then guaranteed you get at least one of these yellow cards. Because I would take this one most likely, and then he'd still get one of these. So yeah, that to me is an incredibly smart play by my opponent, because I'm going to take this, and now he gets the opportunity to grab another one of these. Now, on the flip side, I'm probably going to take the... Well, or am I? Yeah, I am. I'm sure he's debating which one to take. I would appreciate it if he would take the clay, because I would like the wood. Oh, he's just going that. Interesting. All right, happy to do this. So we're going to have to do some discarding here, because none of us have any money. But that's okay. The economy is less good with the build that my opponent has, because my opponent is getting all these passive resources that I really can't do anything about. I'm assuming he takes the wood. in the discard pile. Okay, we do have a science card in the discard pile, so that's not nothing. Especially because late, like, if just 7 victory points is fun. I think that it is a great time to play the Temple of Artemis, because that really fixes my economy, and then I am happy to do this, and if my opponent wants to spend 2 coins to push 1 shield down, more power to you. So I'm assuming my opponent discards it. Okay, so my opponent is at a disadvantage in the fact that their discards are horrible. And so we'd like to keep it that way. And I would also like this card just in general, because this basically is this wonder. So very happy on that front. The best card that my opponent could play would be this one because it's free. However, it does reveal 2 cards for me. I'd probably take that risk. There's nothing here that, I mean, I don't know, what is my opponent looking for that's like, oh my gosh, I really need this. Yeah, like, to me, that's the play. Do I just spend 3 coins to get the 4 points, or do I get the free one for 5 points and possibly give up the resource? I think that I actually grab this one. I don't know. Again, because of the Mausoleum, I do have a 6th science card, like, in my back pocket. If my opponent does not play a gray resource card, the Circus Maximus becomes pretty garbage. All right, well, I'll happily take this and just drive up the price of stone for you. So I don't mind, even if my opponent completes all the wonders, I don't mind leaving out Circus Maximus. So that is something, because we do see a 3rd symbol, and if we can get a 4th symbol here. Really? Well, I'm happy to continue on doing this. That's a curious play there. I don't know if my opponent's trying to jockey for some of these things up here. I'm okay with whatever my opponent does here. Like, if they take this card, I'm just going to discard this one. If they take one of these, I get my choice of a revealed card. They only have 1 extra turn in the back pocket. I have 1 as well. My economy is much better. My discard economy is great. Economy also might not be the worst thing as well to get. Okay, great. So yeah, I just discard this, or do I? Yeah, I just discard this. Because now my opponent will, and I mean, my opponent could do the Sphinx, but I'd rather my opponent get all that out of the way. Like, fine, yes. Okay, wonderful. I am happy to grab this building. This gives me 3. And again, I know I have 4 down in the bin with the Mausoleum. So that's perfectly fine. Happy to grab this. I don't have a problem with that. Do I... I'm just going to discard this. I don't feel like I need to do anything fancy right now. Cool. Curious if he decides to go all in for the... Yeah, he's militarying it up. Okay, so because of that, I'm going to do this. Because I want this science card. So he might see my play, which is I want him to take this so I can grab this. No, he has to discard this. Okay, so now I am going to take this. And I 100% want strategy. Because You're not doing this to me. This isn't happening. Cool. Yes. Grab the glass. I do not care. Okay. I'm going to go first. I'm going to take this thing that is worth 7 points because that's great. Well, that's not ideal. I mean, the only thing here is because of the strategy I just drew, I can now counter with. Now, do I have enough money to counter with that? I think is the answer. I do, and so I think it behooves me to do this. So this is where that just really great that that's there. Don't care about the 5 points. I don't have this one in the bag though. Alrighty, I think. Because I also can backdoor a science victory here if I'm smart. I mean, it's not likely that it will happen, but it also isn't unlikely it will happen. Curious what my opponent decides to do here. I doubt my opponent has forgotten that this is in the discard pile. My opponent has read me very, very well in this first game. I am playing against a very smart opponent. But I've put my opponent in a very tough choice here. Because it is either... This is a great card for him. Coins and victory points. This is also not a bad card. This card guaranteed gives me a science card. This card gives me something. I don't know what that something is, but it's something. Okay. I think that was the correct choice. Ooh, I love that. Okay. So now I am very much in control of this game and really just need to make sure that I don't get caught in a military victory, because here's what I can do. Next turn... Because I'm assuming he's going to take one of these cards. Next turn, I can... yeah, that's cool. Next turn, I can construct this wonder. And then I can grab this. So what my opponent should do is put this card in the extra turn, hoping that this card is a military card. He should put this one to the Sphinx, hoping this is a military card. Assuming he sees that this is in the discard pile and that I have access to it. So yeah, that's what he should do. He's got to hope that that's a military card. It is not, and so that is going to be a very fantastic science victory. One that is without law, which is often in my mind much more difficult. I had a moment where I thought this was a duplicate and I was about to be very upset. Without law, the science victory is often very, very hard. But Mausoleum, this is why I'm starting to move the Mausoleum up my rankings, because here's the other thing I could have done with that Mausoleum. Let's say the military victory was, let's say that I didn't have enough science cards, yada, yada, yada. But now what I can do, especially with like this one that's 8 coins, you're like, man, I don't really want to spend 8 coins just to play in defense. Okay, discard it, then use the Mausoleum, which is probably cheaper, to be able to recur this and get 3 shields back. So this can kind of become a really great tool in the toolbox. So I'm starting to move it up in my rankings of wonders. Because I used to think like, whatever, there's usually, just garbage in the discard pile. And to be frank, usually it is the case. But the Mausoleum, I think, is moving up for me. I'm really liking it. I've had plenty of times where either I have gotten a victory off of it or my opponents have gotten a victory off of it. So it is something, it's one of those things that you have to watch. And that's kind of the key, in this game, is like giving your opponent something to have to worry about. Where when, back-to-back Temple of Artemis, ooh! And even, this is a really great set of wonders. I don't mind any of that. My opponent made the right choice, if I'm not mistaken. All right, I just don't want to deal with Statue of Zeus. Great Library has the possibility to really be something. So let's do that. Alrighty. So I am loving this to start out. Okay, no law here, which, considering all the science cards here, because probably my opponent then takes one of these gray resources, and then I can take the other one. So yeah, I'm very happy. Ooh. Man, as much as I would love that, the smart play is to do this. This is the smart play. I'm happy to grab some of the science here though, because don't love revealing that. But yeah, I'm really happy to take some more of this science because there's some really nice things here. My goodness, let's stop revealing resources for my opponent. That'd be great. Happy to grab a little military thing because we got strategy here, so not bad. I really don't want my opponent to get another yellow card. Let's just not have that be a thing. So we each are kind of recognizing that there's a lot of very powerful science cards here. Yeah, don't love that my opponent has been able to get a bunch of stuff here. All right, we're just gonna discard this because now. Okay, I'm actually surprised my opponent didn't do that. Well, that's kind of garbage. I think that I just want to continue discarding. My opponent absolutely should not. Yeah, see, I can't believe that because I'm happy to come out of here with a resource. Okay, so my opponent is going with the I just want money, which is a fine strategy. So we see the two cards that we want. Oh, I get to choose? Oh, how nice. Well, I'm happy to spend 2 coins to cause my opponent to have to worry about a military victory. I'm happy to do that. That's a bummer. But that would be why my opponent chose that. Great choice by my opponent. That pretty much now puts him out of the danger of a military victory. However, I am going to just discard this. It's about Temple of Artemis time. Because I gotta get some resources here. Like, I need some resources. So, yeah, we're gonna construct the Temple of Artemis now. That's just gonna be, it's gonna be pretty nice. Man, can I really not find a, I really can't find a resource card here. So I am happy to then just spend 2 coins to grab this. Okay, that's great. That's excellent, because I grab this. Economy is really good, and I don't want my opponent to get it. Well, that sucks. I guess it kind of does, but also kind of doesn't. Oh, really? Well, I'm happily I'll take this one. Do I take the architecture? I don't think so. I think I just take the mathematics points. Or do I take the architecture? I'm so resource poor. Architecture is so much better. It's just ridiculous. So my opponent's just not taking this. I mean, maybe my opponent's like, oh, I can get him on a military victory, but okay. I really don't want my opponent to grab that. So, you know what? I'm happy just to construct this. Yeah, architecture was the right call. Architecture was the right call. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Architecture was the right call. Boom. Loving that. Because now I'm happy for him to spend the extra turn. Yeah, totally. Use up one of your extra turns to grab this. I'm assuming he's going to grab mathematics. Oh, masonry. I guess I would say either one is probably fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and I don't really need double papyrus. So I'm going to grab a token here. I probably just grab 7 victory points. I suppose theology isn't the worst thing, but I'm only going to be able to use it once, and that seems law of diminishing returns. I'd rather just have 7 victory points. I think that's just better. Okay, so we do need to worry about a military victory. However, I am going to go first here. I don't need to worry about sciences. So I'm just going to grab this. And then I might want to blow up. Okay, that's not great. However, my opponent cannot afford it. Okay, my opponent can't afford that, however. So I am going to construct this building because if my opponent wants to pay 8 coins, great. Yeah, you want to do that? Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, do that. All right, and then, gosh, I really want this, but we're just gonna, like, I'm not playing around with strategy in here. Especially because he's got Colossus. I'm just not playing around with that. This is one of those either one I'm happy with. Oh yeah, excellent. Yeah, I'm totally happy with this. And I really want to blow up one of his thingy-doos here. Like, I really want to do that. But I don't really want to give up a good card in order to do it. I'm going to give up 5 points in order to do it. Going to blow up the wood. So ideally, this is going to make things more expensive for my opponent. Oh, excellent. I would love to construct this. Happy to construct that. Happy to construct this. Yeah, I think my opponent missed on the military victory. Very happy to construct this. My opponent missed on the military victory, and so now was in a position where it's like, well. I'm happy to grab this. This is a lot of coins. This also is, like, worthless to my opponent. It's 2 coins and 3 victory points. So now I'm really feeling good about the 7. Oh! He conceded. Yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, my opponent basically at this point, once my opponent missed on the military victory, it was pretty much over. So, the one thing that was that my opponent, I think, did incorrectly in this game is that did not. Trying to think, what do I think my opponent could have done differently in this game? Because some of it was just unlucky that the cards fell that did. I guess here's the thing. When you take strategy, you are, especially early on in the game, you're pretty much telling me, hey, I'm going to try to take you out from a military perspective. So now I am on high alert. And so that was really what happened, is I just became on high alert and went, all right, I'm in. I'm just going to, anything you do, I'm going to counter it. And then the other thing that happened with my opponent is my opponent was so poor for so long that they just weren't, they had to discard cards. And anytime you get into a point where you are having to discard cards rather than, well, I can just discard this card, it makes sense to do it, that's not a great position to be in. So you always want to try to avoid that. Really resource poor game. Like, I mean, there's only one resource in the bin here. And then, I mean, I suppose there's some, I forget what's buried in here, but the fact that only 3 brown cards are in play means there really weren't that many resources available to us. Really, the only reason we were kind of able to do stuff is Great Lighthouse, and the fact that just our spread was good, and then this was a clutch instead of going mathematics, going architecture. Really nice. So yeah. So and also, guess what? Temple of Artemis first, always great. So hey, if you are enjoying the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and like and comment. We will see you next time.